Has ByteDance spied on American citizens?
I don't think the spying is the right way to describe it.
All right.
This is ultimately
We can differ on
this
that.
is ultimately an internal
Any
investigation.
TikTok or ByteDance data that is viewed, stored, or passes through China is subject to the laws of China, one-party authoritarian state hostile to all American standards of privacy. China's court system reports to and falls under the Chinese Communist Party. And like fentanyl analogs, which we all know are also manufactured in China, although they are illegal there, I fear TikTok will grow into a much bigger problem, a cancer, if you will. And I'm deeply worried that it may be too late to stop the spread of this cancer. Like fentanyl, another China export, which causes addiction and death, dangerous algorithms and Chinese Communist Party are not good for Americans, not good for our families, and definitely not good for the United States. Mr. Chu, prior to serving as the CFO of ByteDance, you served as a CFO and Director of Global Operations for ShowMe from 2015 to 21. Is that correct?
Are you asking me in 2015?
Very good.
Would you mind repeating that, please?
Madam Chair, I'd like to enter another article into evidence. This is from the National Cybersecurity Center in Lithuania.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you. This report outlines numerous data security risks, including how the privacy of European users was violated in clear cases of unauthorized collection of user data by ShowMe. This sounds exactly what many of my colleagues have been talking about today. Worse yet, the ShowMe phones sold to Europeans had a list of 449 words and phrases which would be automatically censored on the device. Censored phrases included the Voice of America and Democratic Movement, among others. This analysis was conducted on devices which were manufactured and sold to Europeans while you were the head of operations for ShowMe. It does not follow that you expect us to believe that you would not censor on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party, since you've already done so.
I want to be unequivocal on this. We do not remove or
reclaim my
promote
time.
content on behalf
While
of the Chinese
TikTok, in
government.
your words, strives to deliver on their mission to inspire creativity and bring joy to American users, I assure you that is not the mission or goal of the Chinese Communist Party, which runs the People's Republic of China, that TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is domiciled in. Mr.
Congressman, you can check with our
straightforward
users to
things.
see the
world's
experience that they're
first
getting.
Answer. You have not given straightforward answers. We don't find you credible on these things. With that, Madam Chair, I'd like to yield the balance.
Congressman, you have given me no
Mr.
time to answer
Obernolte,
your questions.
California.
I reject the characterizations.
I yield it
Who
to
are you
Mr.
yielding to?
Obernolte.
Dr. Dunn? Mr. Obernolte?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Chu, I'd like to continue our discussion of Project Texas, if we could. Part of Project Texas is that engineers at Oracle will review the algorithms used by TikTok to confirm that they're free of foreign influence. I have a question about that because we're talking about AI, that's a very generic term. Do you use machine learning to influence the algorithms at TikTok?
This gets very technical, and we have published several blogs about this, which I can forward to your team.
Okay.
But yes, it's mainly based on interest signals.
Right. Okay. So here's my question. How could looking at the algorithm confirm that it's free from foreign influence? Because the algorithm is just a neural net architecture with inputs and outputs and weights, and how to train that. I mean, the influence is an external factor. So I'd appreciate it if you could give us, I see we're out of time again, a written answer to that. But again, I am concerned that what you're proposing with Project Texas just doesn't have the technical capability of providing us the assurances that we need. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes Ms. Custer. Ms. Custer is not here.
Custer.
Ms. Barragon for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Chu, TikTok warns users when content is graphic or disturbing and labels state-affiliated media accounts to ensure the viewers aren't seeing propaganda. Does TikTok provide similar information to Spanish speakers, users, as well as English speakers?
I believe so, Congressman. I will get back to you on that.
Okay, and do you know if TikTok has a specific strategy for tackling Spanish language content that violates its trust and safety guidelines?
We do. I will get back to you on the specifics on that.
Okay. When offensive English language search terms or hashtags are blocked for violating community guidelines in English, is the Spanish translation of the term or the hashtag automatically blocked as well?
I believe so, but let me check the specifics and get back to you.
Do you have any idea how many people that you might have working at TikTok that addresses Spanish misinformation?
I know ballpark it's quite a significant team, but I can get back to you on the details.
You said significant, so are you saying it's, do you have a ballpark at all you can give us? Would you say it's like 10% of your force or more
It's
than?
an important number, so I want to be precise, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, do you happen to know how if a TikTok can effectively ensure that Spanish-speaking users between the ages of 13 and 17 are not being targeted by ads promoting harmful content?
We have very strict policies for our users who are in the teenage age group, and regardless of what language they speak. So we want to make sure that they are given a very safe experience on our platform, regardless of the language they.
Well, I know, I'm just trying to figure, I'm trying to ascertain resources you may be putting into Spanish speaking and Spanish language. Last year, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus met with TikTok. This was one of the conversations and a source of the discussion was addressing Spanish language disinformation and misinformation. It remains an urgent priority for the Congressional Hispanic Caucus as Hispanics across the country increasingly turn to social media for vital information. We heard earlier in this hearing that there was, video, there was a TikTok post threatening the chair of the committee, and it took some 40 days to take it down. So I guess I'm a little concerned if your team doesn't have the resources and the capability to flag that, what kind of capability is it going to have to bring down misinformation, disinformation to Spanish speakers, which I'm assuming is a smaller fraction of the workers that you have at TikTok?
TikTok is a place for all our users to come and express their very diverse views, and we are open to all ethnicities, and we are open to all everyone to come here and freely express their views. So it is our commitment to make sure that the safety of those users, regardless of the language, and of course, the Spanish language user base is super important to us.
Okay,
we
so
need to make sure that we continue to.
Okay, so you don't have an answer then. Okay, I will look forward in your coming back. We've heard a lot about the concerns about children who may be on TikTok. Mr. Chu, at what age do you think it would be appropriate for a young person to get on TikTok?
We have 3 different experiences here in the United States. There is an experience for under 13s, which is highly restricted.
I'm asking what you think would be the appropriate age to have a child get on TikTok.
Our approach is to give differentiated experiences for different age groups and let the parents have these conversations with their children to decide what's best for their family.
So you think that there is a sufficient safety mechanism for an 8-year-old to be able to access TikTok?
An 8-year-old's experience on TikTok will be so highly restricted that every single piece of content he or she will see will be vetted by Common Sense, our third-party child safety expert, and the 8-year-old will not be able to post, and the 8-year-old will not be able to see any personalized feed and 0 advertising in that experience. So I believe, yes, it is the appropriate experience for an 8-year-old.
Well, then why don't you let your 8-year-old child on TikTok?
I have seen these news articles. I would like to address that. My kids live in Singapore, and in Singapore, we do not have the under 13 experience. If they lived here in the United States, I'll let them use the under 13 experience. Okay,
so you're saying it's because of the country you live in doesn't have the same mechanisms. Is there a reason you don't have the same mechanisms everywhere?
In principle, we want to provide, a good experience for our users in general. We don't want to monetize from people who are under 13. In the US, we are COPPA compliant, and as part of that, we were deemed as I want to get the specifics right. We were deemed as a particular type of audience, mixed audience app. I want to make sure that that's right. And as a result of that, we have to provide an experience to our under 13 users in this country as well.
My time has expired. Thank you. I yield back.
He yields back. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Utah, Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Chu, my children are getting ready to run a marathon, and I noted during this hearing that they'll be running for about the same amount of time that you'll be sitting in that chair today. Unfortunately, I only get you for 5 minutes, so instead of a marathon, I'd like to do a sprint with you. And I want to go back up to that 30,000 feet level. Would you agree with me that Section 230 was created to protect platforms like yours from lawsuits when you distribute information? Don't overcomplicate it, just like 30,000 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then would you agree that there's a line drawn between publishers of information and distributors of information? Specifically in the Section 230 language.
I think 230 is a very complex
Yes,
topic.
I understand, but remember, we're at 30,000 feet. So in short, your platform distributes content that other people's publish. One of the early challengers to Section 230 was when AOL refused to take down a post of somebody that had inappropriately put associated a phone number with the Oklahoma City bombings. The courts ruled that AOL was not liable for that post because of Section 230. Now, I want you to do a hypothetical with me because I'm going to use the absurd to try to make a point here. Let's suppose hypothetically that AOL, instead of just posting that, actually wanted to magnify that voice. And so they took out an ad in the Wall Street Journal linking that phone number with the Oklahoma City bombing. And let's suppose they didn't stop there, but they went further and they took out a Super Bowl ad linking that phone number with the Oklahoma City bombing. And let's suppose hypothetically they didn't stop there. They sent a flyer to every home in America linking that phone number to the bombing. And I guess the question is, would AOL have moved from a distributor to a publisher in this made-up example?
Congressman,
I think
respectfully,
I think everybody can see that they would. This is not a hard question.
hypotheticals.
Moving that far away from the intent would have moved them to a publisher. So my question is platforms are protected because they post content, but I want this room to see, not just you, the protection has limits. And if AOL moves to a